Yeah, this coaching staff has talked about physicality since day one in this thing, and you saw it there. Look, the Giants were well. They came in and you know they brought the hammer with them. So I think that it got a little testy, got a lot testy at some points, but I think that you know you're always going to have those little skirmishes, and I think to me it's two teams playing hard, trying to stay physical, and wanting to get the emotions going the way they did. Now, you know, probably disrupted the practice a little bit, but I think this Dolphins team is so young. I think they need to be out there and just be as physical as they can, because you're certainly going to know, with John Harbaugh, you know that this football team is going to come out, the New York Giants, and they're going to come out with physicality, and they're going to come out and be disciplined, and they're going to try to win this football game.
To listen to today's game in Spanish, choose SAP on your viewing device. That's presented by Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Shop toyotaofhollywood.com. Yesterday, head coach Jeff Hafley used the word snarl when describing his defense and the toughness that the young guys showed. And remember, Zach Sealer, Jordan Brooks, they've been out, so they didn't practice against the Giants. And Hafley liked what the Dolphins are bringing to the table every single day. Dolphins win the toss, and they will receive. Jalen Wright, along with DJ Herman, will be deep. Herman will be the up man in front of Jalen Wright, something the Dolphins are kind of using a bit with. You need that deep man to be able to go sideline to sideline if that ball gets sprayed a bit. Dominic Zaveda, the undrafted free agent, University of Michigan, will kick off. He and Ben Sauls in a kicking battle for the Giants, so we'll likely see both kickers. Giants in the familiar blue. Fins home for the first time here in 2026, and it's Jalen Wright on the opening kickoff from his own 5. Wright gets a hole, and a good return out across the 35-yard line. Finally run out of bounds by moving on first down, and a couple maybe. That's it for Jalen Wright. Right in his 3rd year out of Tennessee. Remember, he came on late last season, Bo. He had 6 carries, 22 yards last week. Right now, he's the leader a bit on Ollie Gordon for that 2nd job.
Yeah, and he's talked this season about being more comfortable in his skin, more comfortable with his team. And last year, I think it was a little overwhelming for him, but I think he's a little more relaxed, and he's going to put his best foot forward.
Much like us as well.
There you go.
There you go. We're ready to go here. Just underway, preseason game number 2. That's Caleb Douglas, the rookie, in motion. Miller play action. Miller has time. Throws. Has a man, but it's incomplete. Newsome got in there for the Giants, punching that ball out, and it'll be 3rd down.
Taylor Tolbert got a nice little block there to give Miller some time to throw the football. Didn't look good, but it served the purpose, right?
Intended man, Kevin Coleman Jr., 5th-round pick out of Missouri, so he was dinged up last week, gets an opportunity here. As we've told you, if you're with us last week, 13 drafted players, about a dozen other rookies. Half the team is on 1-year prove-it contracts. Here's Miller on 3rd down. Deep middle for Coleman, broken up. Couple of Giants there, led by Newman in coverage, and the Dolphins will have to punt.
Had pretty good protection up front, and I think when Miller comes over, I think some of the coaches are going to say, hey, you might not want to throw in those double coverages that deep down the field.
So 3 and out to begin the game. Calvin Austin, former Pittsburgh Steeler, will be deep for the Giants on the punt return. And there it is again. Coleman did hit his hands. Pinnock made the play. Austin sails back inside the 10, and he'll play it there. Sheds 1 tackler, and then dances out of bounds at the 17-yard line, and that's where the Giants will begin. We won't see Jackson Dart in this game. He played last week, threw a touchdown pass in a preseason opener against Minnesota, so it's a very familiar face there. Jameis Winston, the former Florida State Seminole, won the Heisman in 2013, #1 overall pick in 2015 of the Buccaneers. He can still sling it. He's the Giants' backup quarterback. 1st down, New York. Winston a throw, and that's complete.
Ethan Bonner coming up in the hit.
Yeah, Bonner's one of those guys in that cornerback mix for the Giants and for the Dolphins, rather. And, you know, he's been impressive in camp. They like his consistency.
Ethan Bonner, Zane Anderson, Michael Taft, all those guys are in the mix.
Slayton made the catch for the Giants on first down, a pickup of 6. Singletary, the former FAU Owl in the backfield, South Florida native. And he is pushed back right at the line. Big Keith Cooper, 4 tackles last week.
Holds his ground. Nice tackle. Hit him high.
Yeah, pretty deep for the Dolphins on that defensive line. Cooper trying to make a name for himself. Loss of 1, and now it's 3rd and 5. Giants spread it out. 3 wide to the left. Taft showing a little blitz at the safety position, and here he comes on the outside. They pick it up. Winston throws. That's complete. First down, Slayton. He's out near midfield and still on his feet. Finally, Chris Johnson, Jacob Rodriguez dragged him down, the veteran Slayton, for 28 yards. Zvada for the extra point, and that is good. So early on here at Hard Rock Stadium, Winston with the diving attempt gets in the end zone. Giants on top, 7-0 early on. Jalen Wright will get another opportunity on a kick return from inside his own 5. Herman the lead blocker. And Wright out of bounds at the 25. Dolphins offense went 3 and out in the first series. They'll get another opportunity here.
Let's see if they can move the ball. Offensive line's got to tighten up a little bit. Got the fullback in there.
And Wright trying to shake something off after that kick return. Over on the sideline, so Ollie Gordon is now in at running back. Cam Miller in at QB, won a couple of national titles at North Dakota State, and the years he didn't win them, he made the title game, and he lost to Mark Gronowski, who's the Dolphins' other quarterback, with Malik Willis not playing this week and Quinn Ewers dinged up. Play action for Miller. Short pass, Ollie Gordon with room. Across the 30, 35, first down Dolphins, a pickup of 11.
Nice play, timed it right. The screen pass, 2 guys, 2 blockers in front of him.
Ollie had 7 carries, 39 yards last week against the Commanders. Gordon in his 2nd year out of Oklahoma State, where he had a huge career. So the Dolphins get their first down of the game. Gordon remains in at running back. Now the give to Gordon up the middle. Pushes the pile to gain about 3. DJ Campbell, number 63, now in there for the Dolphins. Another one of the draft picks, 6th round out of Texas. Only Caden Proctor dressed for this game for the starting offensive line for the Dolphins, so they're getting the afternoon off.
Trying to get a little push in the middle of there. Caden Wallace in there. Andrew Meyer in there.
2nd and 6, they gave Gordon 4 on first down. Atwell, the jet sweep as he came in motion, and he's forced out of bounds right at the line of scrimmage. And a little extra push there. Greg Newsome made the play for the Giants.
Yeah, it looked like there might have been a little room for him to cut back after he gets the ball in that hole.
So after no gain, 3rd and 5. Miller getting an opportunity. Raiders picked him in 2025 in the 6th round. Dolphins plucked him off that practice squad in January. And here he is getting the start today. Has time, goes deep for Coleman. He holds it in double coverage. Kevin Coleman Jr. His first NFL action. Makes a big play there.
Concentration, a lot of hands in front of him. Flags are on the field.
Yeah, it's interference.
It's going to be pass interference.
Decline that one. What a catch. Another one-hander was Douglas last week, the rookie in Washington.
That's right.
And now Coleman, the other rookie today. Made a real good catch in the joint practice. Took a big hit, held on to it. The gain was 30 yards. So the Dolphins now, as Coleman checks out for Herman, the fullback, have it at the New York 30.
Nice throw.
Dolphins hope they hit big in the draft. It remains to be seen with those 3 wide receivers, Chris Bell, Kevin Coleman Jr., and Caleb Douglas. Jalen Wright back in at running back, but Miller's going to throw. Has some pressure, and down he goes. Jamison Travis, a rookie, a 6th-round pick on the sack for the Giants.
Really nowhere for him to go. Get rid of that ball a little quicker if he wants to get it out there. Got a crosser out there, maybe.
So the loss is 4. Coleman back in the game over on the right side. Miller out of the shotgun. Quick throw. Here's Coleman. He's got that quickness right at the line. Slot receiver. Played at Missouri last year and has really shown a lot during training camp. So a couple of grabs for Coleman Jr. It's 3rd and 12, only a gain of a couple on that play. Again, Devon Achane not playing today, getting the day off, so it's Wright and Gordon at running back to start the game. Dolphins also have Edwards and Washington Jr. Handoff on 3rd down, and that ball is loose. Fumble. There's a giant under the pile, and I believe New York's got it, and they do. Wright fighting for it, but it's New York football.
Yeah, that's not going to help. I mean, you got to hold the football. That's a big no-no at this point in the season.
So the Giants come up with the turnover on a 3rd down fumble. And it's 7-0 New York, and their offense coming back on the field here in the 1st quarter at Hard Rock Stadium. And a gain of 3 yards on 1st down. Matthew Butler made the tackle. Willie Gay Jr. is now in there for the Dolphins as Trey Moore has left the game. Dolphins getting a little deeper into the roster now. Rodney McGrew out of Western Michigan, linebacker, undrafted free agent, checks in as well.
Jackson Woodard's in there, and he's getting the signals from Jeff Hafley, who's I would not call him the defensive coordinator, but
he'll be calling the defense. And the rain coming down a little bit harder now. Perhaps Jacob Rodriguez, the rookie, his day may be over already. Winston to throw through the raindrops. He set up the screen. Tracy is met right at the 40, and there's Woodard. I mean, Jackson Woodard led the Dolphins in tackles last week with 7. And I'll tell you what, talking to this guy, he's the most positive person you will ever find. Loves football and appreciates the opportunity that he's getting here.
Comes out of the huddle, looks a little frustrated. Someone missed an assignment probably. And comes away for sure tackle.
He's all ball, and those are the type of attitudes that John Eric Sullivan, Jeff Hafley want. They really like the buy-in on this team, what they're getting in training camp, the physicality and the effort. Hafley has talked about that. Here's Winston, 3rd down with time, throws incomplete. Zane Anderson was out there in the coverage. Pass intended for former Dolphin Tanner Connor, the tight end, and it's 4th down.
He's been around a long time. We had him for a long time, and shows a lot of promise. Hasn't really gotten to the point. Nice throw.
Man, that's one you got to make the catch if you're trying to make the team.
Yep.
Jordan Stout will punt for the Giants. Came over with John Harbaugh. He's got few Baltimore guys with him. Stout, a former Raven. Coleman hustles over but won't get a chance. It bounces in front of him. Thought about it. Oh, now has to play it. And he's able to hang on before he's taken down at the 13-yard line. 4:08 left, first quarter. Through the raindrops. So backed up are the Dolphins to their own 5-yard line. Jalen Wright fumbled on the last drive, right back in there at running back. Gets the call immediately, and he's brought down. Good pursuit by the Giants from the backside there. Play was made by Adarius Washington.
Yeah, a lot of times you see these guys that are kind of on the fringes, in one big hit in a preseason game gets all the attention. Next thing you know, they're on the roster or the practice squad, giving them an opportunity. And it's probably the easiest way to get a job. If it's a veteran team, I would say that's the only way you can get it. But here there's a lot of opportunities everywhere on the field.
And all these games, every team in the league's watching them. It's tape for everyone. Giants bring some pressure. Miller under pressure, and down he goes. The Giants got in there, and Zach Pickens led the charge. Andrew Meyer has to be helped up for the Giants. McFadden was there as well. He's the one that forced the fumble on the last drive.
It's a little bit what we saw from the joint practices, where the defense from the Giants just don't give the quarterback any time to throw the football and look. And somehow they've got to tighten that up. Look, it even happened when you had the first team guys in there against the Giants.
So back to their own 1. Miller in the gun in the end zone on 3rd and 15. Slings it out there to 2-2. Atwell incomplete. He had it at the 10, but couldn't hold on. Paulson Adebo in coverage. And Bradley Pinion will have to punt from under his own goalpost.
Yeah, sometimes you got to help your quarterback out. I mean, gets the ball out there, should be caught.
That's a good throw by Miller, sure.
Yeah. Hear the footsteps coming.
12-year veteran. Pinion into punt. Austin for the Giants, back near midfield. Pinion won a Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's a heck of a kick. Austin drifts to the sideline. Gets free down the sideline and inside the 40 of the Dolphins. Austin, the former Steeler, with a good return there. Woodard ran him out of bounds. Let's go downstairs to the sideline through the raindrops. Mike Cunha.
Yeah, I'm back out here in the rain with you guys. Yeah, let's get to our practice report brought to you by Baptist Health. We didn't see the first team defense out here today, and that's because of what we saw in that joint practice Thursday. Jeff Hafley, for the second straight joint practice, raving about the way that defensive front played against the run, really limiting Jackson Dart big plays. He also gave a lot of credit to the safeties for the way they were able to cover up receivers downfield. He called the play Thursday from the defense inspired. It was good to see that from that side of the ball out there. He said, of course there are some mistakes, but as long as these guys are making mistakes going 100 miles per hour, he can live with that. Back to you.
Yeah, and interesting, Mike, because, they want, the message to the team as well is, the wins aren't always in the results. Yeah. They're talking about the process, doing things the right way, setting the standard. That's what Jeff Hafley's all about. So the Giants inside the 40 after the punt return. Odell Beckham Jr. is in the game. The former Dolphin and veteran. Little miscommunication there between Winston and Slayton, incomplete. Today's hyper-fast connection is brought to you by AT&T, and there they are, a handful of former recent Miami Dolphins. Now had 9 catches that year when he was a Dolphin. He's in the game here at Hard Rock Stadium. The original Giant draft pick. 2nd and 10. Beckham all the way to the right side. They run it to Tracy up the middle. Gets a hole across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. That'll be a first down.
They just ran through a tackle. Got to square up.
Gain of 11 for Tracy. Of course, saw the highlights. He missed that block on a blitz last week against Minnesota, and Jackson Dart got pounded. John Harbaugh wasn't too happy with it. It's going to happen, though, you know that, but they don't want to see that. Dart not playing in the game today. It's Jameis Winston's show to start. Tracy again up the middle. Bounces outside, inside the 20. And that's another first down for the Giants. Michael Taft there for the stop finally.
Got to be frustrating. They bottled him up, and then just the contain broke down. Gave him that lane outside.
So after the gain of 11, Tracy gets 12 on that run. They stack up the line. Tracy still in there at running back. Closing in on a minute to go in the quarter. Winston, play action, flips it out. Has his tight end, Willie Gay Jr., there for the stop after a 6-yard gain.
You don't got to worry about Willie's motor out there. He's going to go out there and play, and he's going to play with passion.
Willie Gay Jr. won a couple of Super Bowls with Kansas City, and every day they come out of that after the stretch inside at the Baptist Health Training Facility, and it's usually Willie hooping and hollering as they take the field for practice. So the Giants now a 2nd and 4 at the Dolphins 10. Tracy fell down, fumble, ball is loose. The Dolphins jump on it. We'll wait for the official call, but Jackson Woodard is out of the pile for Miami.
Looked like it was a bad handoff. The connection.
Yeah, the rain's been coming down for 10-15 minutes
not
now.
Harbaugh, not really. You're not going to let that stuff stand for very long.
Yeah, that's right out of his hands, and a good effort there by Woodard. He was battling Tanner Connor to get to the loose football.
Good effort there.
Yeah, Woodard's always active. You know, he makes plays. Had a good tackle earlier in the quarter. Comes up with the loose ball there. Dolphins take over on their own 10.
It makes something positive on defense. Hopefully the offense can get the ball down the field and make something happen.
Miller with the fake over the middle. Atwell. And that is incomplete. Deontay Banks there in coverage for the Giants. Looked like Atwell had an opportunity there.
Yeah, it hasn't been a good game for Tutu. He's just got hands on the balls, but just hasn't been able to pull them in. Got to catch that.
Atwell, the Miami native, played quarterback at Miami Northwestern, was the Miami-Dade Player of the Year one year. Little dinged up with the Rams last season, and now with the Dolphins as a free agent. So 19 seconds to go in the quarter. Wright trying to find a hole and moves that pile ahead. Got about 4 yards with the good effort on the final play of the first quarter. So each defense able to come up with a loose ball on a fumble in the first.